Hello my friends, this is Amner Hunter from amnerhunter.com. Happy to spend some time with you on this video. This time around I want to share with you a package of 23 free VST plugins by the company Toneboosters. These free plugins are part of the legacy versions of these tools that were released around 10 years ago, and Toneboosters is giving them all away for free this time around. In this package you will find compressors, dynamic processors, de-essers, equalizers, tools for mastering as well, and some utility plugins such as a speaker simulation, multi-effects plugins, among other utilities. In this video I am gonna explain briefly each one of these 23 tools, and also I am gonna test them in some elements in a mix or in a full mix. As usual, all of the applicable links are going to be down below in the description and the first comments, and don't forget to check out the timestamps as well that I leave you down below. Before we dive deep into the content, my friends, I would like to invite you to my website amnerhunter.com, where I have some freebies for you. I have some free PDF guides and ebooks for music producers and guitar players, such as the 8-step mixing guide with free plugins, also another guide of productivity hacks in your home studio. Additionally, I have some free tools available, a huge collection of guitar impulses, a brand new drum sample pack for rock and metal sound, among other utilities. And finally, don't forget to check out my blog and this channel, which I'm updating weekly with tons of free content. So now, let's get straight into the video. The first plugin on the list is the TB Barricade. This is basically a limiter. It has a look ahead function. It has out ceiling input gain to drive the input, and this is the ceiling that will prevent the song from clipping. It has ISP, which means that it's enabling the high quality function like oversampling. It has also attack and release, and it has a dithering function when you are rendering the song to, let's say, a CD, for instance. It's a great tool that you can use for mastering. Let's take a listen. The next one on the list, it's the Broadcast Processor. This is a multi-band compressor with low band, mid band. By clicking on this square, you are turning off that band and you can listen to the bands individually. Here you have the low band, you have the usual controls in a compressor, threshold, ratio, gain. It also has mid-side processing, and you have also a visualizer where you can see how the compressor is working on these bands. Let's take a listen. This is a bus compressor with attack, release, ratio, threshold, the usual controls of a compressor, right? But it also has some pretty cool advanced features like transient, hold, adapt. It has auto release function, high quality as well. Also has the option to work in upward like this instead of a regular compressor like this. You can enable the mid-side processing as well, the makeup gain, and it has a mix knob to blend in the dry signal and the wet signal for parallel processing. It also has a knee function, hard knee or soft knee. Let's take a listen. Then we have a regular compressor with a threshold, ratio, makeup, range, the wet, dry knob. It has auto release, or you can set it like this as well, the attack, and also the sidechain high pass filter. Let's take a listen. The next one on the list is this De-Esser. It has a very cool option to listen only what the De-Esser is doing, only the frequencies that are being removed. You have the attack function here. You have this amount that you increase and you start to see the reduction of the De-essers right here and the Sibalance. You have the release, high pass frequency, and sensitivity. Let's take a listen.
Tomorrow is far away. The Reaper is here for you, for you. I am broken inside. Tomorrow is far away.
Next up, we have this Dither that is meant to reduce as much as possible the noise when you introduce by lowering the resolution of a file. When you are exporting the song, for instance, let's say for a CD, it would be in 16 bits instead of 24 bits. And the Dither will cover for the noise when lowering this bit depth. It also has some presets that you can use, for instance, 16-bit noise shaping. This will be applied to the final result after the limiter exporting the song for a CD, let's say. It's not so frequently used anymore since most of the music is digital in MP3 or 24-bit most of the times. Next one is the EBU Compact. This is a meter that will let you know the loudness in the short term, also the loudness range, and also the integrated loudness. You have different modes of the meter here to measure what's going on with the loudness. You can reset the meter here by clicking here, and you have also a decibel true peak that will let you know the highest peak of your mix. This one, it's the EBU Loudness, which is a more complete meter than the previous one. It will also let you know the integrated loudness, loudness range, true peak, pretty much the same functions, but it's a little bit bigger in the screen, and it also has some extra functions like this one that will show you on this type of graphic what's going on with the audio, right? Next up, we have this equalizer with 6 bands that you can use in different filters that you have here. Then you have auto makeup gain, very useful, the frequency, the gain, and the Q factor. You have the output gain to compensate. You can increase the resolution of the spectrum analyzer. You enable the spectrum analyzer by clicking here. This equalizer, it's also mid-side, so you can process independently the mid and the side and the left and the right. Pretty useful. And you have also very interesting presets. Let's take a listen. Next plugin, it's called Evoke, includes a gate, a compressor, a Sibalance section to de-ess the signal, and an exciter of high frequencies. You have this graphic related to the dynamics exciter Sibalance processing, and you have the compressor option here. You can use it manually here or in the knobs right here. Pretty cool that you have the auto gain compensation, and you can also monitor the Sibalance right here. Let's take a listen. Next one is the Easy EQ. This is an equalizer with 4 modes. Pretty simple. You just drag this point in the middle if you want the mix brighter, tiny, dark, warm. Or you can combine these options like this if you put it in the center of each one. Pretty simple to use. Easy equalizer, as the name suggests. Let's take a listen. The next plugin is called Ferox. This is a saturation distortion plugin. This is the main knob that will increase the saturation and distortion. The more you increase it, the more processing you have. Also, the other functions as an advanced saturator would have. You can set it to mono right here. You have filters. You have the low and high quality oversampling. Let's take a listen. The next plugin on the list, it's the Fix. This plugin, it's a dynamic equalization. It has 6 bands. If you turn on one band, you will also turn on the compressor of this particular band, and you can move the compression like this. It will start compressing. Here are the functions of the compressor, right? Soft knee, attack, release, makeup gain, sidechain, and here you have the functions of the equalizer, right? The frequency, the gain, the Q control, the mode, and here you can select the mid-side processing as well. If you right click on each band, you will turn off that band. Let's take a listen. Next plugin on the list, it's a gate. Pretty useful to remove noise on vocals, on guitars for instance. By using this threshold, you can also indicate the gate to open and close with the attack and hold function and with the release. Here it will let you know when the gate is closing and opening, right? You can also monitor what the gate is doing. Let's take a listen. Next, we move on with this plugin called Isone. This is a speaker setup designer. It is basically an input response of different types of rooms, of different environments. You have the presets here, for instance, large studio, small studio. It will represent the equalization curve of that particular environment. You can change the speaker angle. You can also shorten the distance, the size, the diffusion, speaker level. You can basically listen to your mix in different types of devices as well to be able to know how your mix is translating. Let's take a listen. Then we move on with the mid-side transformer. Very simple plugin. With this control that you have here, you just enable it. You will listen to the elements on your mix that are on the mid. You're gonna listen to them on the sides of your stereo image. As simple as that. Let me demonstrate this for you. Then we move on with the module. This is basically a multi-effects plugin. You have auto panners, tremolo, simple echo, chorus, phaser, ping pong delay or echo, tape echo, vocal doubler. Also you have distortion, flanger, pretty cool plugin that you can use in any source. You have also control here individually with filter, with non-linearities, which is the saturation, right? The delay and the mixer. The presets are very interesting. Let's check it out. Next up, we have the ReelBus. This is also a saturation distortion plugin. This is the main knob that will start to introduce saturation. You have different types of control to adjust and control the harmonics. You can also introduce hiss to the signal or asperity. And you have the output control here to compensate any volume lost or gained. You have also pretty cool presets. Let's take a listen. Next, we move on with the Reverb plugin. You have very interesting presets like in the other plugins as well. You have the Reverb tail and the room geometry, the shape of the room, size of the room, and the diffusion. You have also two controls of equalization for the reverb, a high pass filter and low pass filters, which are very useful. Let's take a listen. Next, we move on with the Sibalance plugin. Will allow you also to remove high frequencies on vocals, for instance, that are not very useful, like the S's, and also on cymbals. It's pretty useful to remove some resonances. It has this visual interface, and here at the left, you can change the threshold, the ratio of the compressor that's working on the high frequencies, knee, range, dry, wet, analysis, attack, and release. You can listen only what the plugin is doing to the signal, and you select here the range that you are gonna process. Let's take a listen.
I am broken inside. Tomorrow is far away. The Reaper is here for you.
The next plugin on the list, it's the Time Machine. This plugin will allow you to change the sampling rate of the audio to 8 bits, 12 bits by adding saturation and also de-aliasing. Here you reduce the sample rate and the number of bits. It's called Time Machine because you basically are going back in time to listen to the audio like in the beginnings on the digital world. Let's take a listen. The last plugin on the list is the Voice Pitcher. This is simply a pitch shifter plugin. Will change the pitch of any audio source. It's meant more towards vocal, but it will work in any other source as well. By lowering this knob, you are lowering the pitch of the signal, and increasing this knob, you are changing the pitch, also making it higher. You have this wet mix knob, you have the threshold here, and these two knobs that will allow you to recover a little bit from the original tone and sound, because changing the pitch might give you some artifacts or change dramatically the sound of the source. Let's take a listen.
Broken inside. Tomorrow is far away. The Ripper is here for you. I am broken inside. Tomorrow is far away.
Please let me know down below in the comment section, my friends, what are your thoughts on these plugins by the company Toneboosters? Do you have any favorites of this list? Have you tried them? Please let me know if you are excited to try them on your production. I will be very glad to read your opinions and comments about this. Before we go, my friends, I would like to invite you to my website, amnorhunter.com, where I have some freebies for you, some free PDF guides and ebooks for music producers and guitar players. Also have some free tools available, such as a huge collection of guitar impulses, a brand new drum sample pack for rock and metal, and finally, don't forget to check out my blog and this channel, which I'm updating weekly with tons of free content. Thank you very much for watching this video. Thanks for your time. I appreciate it very much. I will see you very soon on the next one. All right, take care.